Hi guys, welcome to channel Cric. So today we have Ritik with us once again. He has his own channel, Cricket Whispers as well. And today we are going to talk about the third test review of the Border Gavaskar Trophy. Firstly, and before touching that topic, we have an Indian legend, not an Indian legend, the greatest of all time of,
Yeah,
one of the goats of Indian cricket. If you could say the greatest of all time who's played from Tamil Nadu, I think that is no second thought about it. I think Ravichandran Ashwin has announced his international retirement. From all forms of the game. That is from all forms of international cricket. Correct. So. It's very difficult because we are that kind of a generation. I mean, both myself and Ritik as well. From the day one that we have started watching the game, we've admired Ravichandran Ashwin a lot. We've seen him from a very younger phase, right from the 2011 World Cup, where in the quarterfinals he bowled such a very good delivery to
yes,
Shane Watson. That ball turning in, trying, putting him on the sweep. Still remember that very early memory of Ravichandran Ashwin, and him doing well at his home ground, that is at Chepauk, against the West Indies as well. He had a very good game. So a lot of memories of Ravichandran Ashwin coming in. I mean, we talk about that one ball. Even ICC as well. Post his retirement, have posted that delivery to Ashashi Mamla in the
yeah,
2014 semifinals. Right, that ball where he tosses it up, and the moment it moves, or rather turns and hits the off stump. So one of the best deliveries. So I think, yeah, top delivery. That I mean, if you talk about Ravichandran Ashwin, a lot of memories comes into our mind, right? I think. I mean, be it the BGT in 2021, along with Hanuma Vihari. What he did at Sydney was magnificent. Yeah,
yeah,
I think a very underrated series of his was the India South Africa series in 2015. So whereby he did brilliantly well to because that was a completely solid South African team, and you needed two very good spinners of Ashwin's and Jadeja's caliber to stop that team. And definitely, I think Ashwin had a very good series that time around. And in my opinion, I think a crucial cog to Virat Kohli's captaincy success in Test cricket, I think, has definitely been Ravichandran Ashwin. A huge credit has to be given to him as well. And yes, I mean, if you want to talk about Ravi Ashwin, he's finished with 537 Test wickets, in excess of 770 international wickets. An absolute legend of the game, a great thinker, and most importantly, post his retirement, he's going to do a lot of things for India. I mean, a lot of contribution to Indian cricket in whichever manner possible. Either in the broadcasting setup, or rather in the in the coaching panel, or even in the administrative setup as well. So firstly, to start with, definitely a shocker of a news, this one coming in, and definitely we didn't expect Ashwin to retire. Maybe this isn't a surprise, but did we expect at this particular moment? That is my question, Ritik. So, and you can also mention your favorite memory of Ashwin.
yes. Definitely, I'll go ahead with the memory first because I think for me, I've spoken to you about this earlier as well. Properly, I started following cricket since the Champions Trophy. Yes, I watched the
Mm,
2011 World Cup, but still, I was not a very critical follower of the game. But I started doing that in the 2013 Champions Trophy. So for
mhm.
me, always when I think about Ashwin, obviously that BGT, especially that Sydney game, is something that always pops up in my mind. But along with it, the other memory that's very clear. It's as if I've seen that just now. I can relive that moment as well. That's the last over of the 2013 Champions Trophy as well. The finals that he was
Mm,
bowling to Stuart Broad and Treadwell again. A very difficult thing to
Gentleman.
do because he was not handling a lot of runs. They were, I think, 11, 12, 13 runs. I think 14 runs were the target. And
Yes,
especially
yes.
against an off spinner, you normally, against these two batters like who's Stuart Broad and Treadwell, both of these batters were capable enough to score those runs. And again, conditions were very difficult. A lot of moisture was there. It was very difficult to grip the ball. And talking about that last over, he bowled really well in the first half as well. And again, it was again a terrific task to first of all defend that total and to be the champions as well. So yes, for me, along with BGT, obviously that is one of the most favorite memories of Ravichandran Ashwin. Coming back to your second question, definitely I was not expecting this, even because when there were a lot of talks before the match was called off, when he was having this conversation with Virat, probably at that time as well, I thought that this is something uh, about the future that they are discussing. Because Virat is again in
Mm,
that similar phase. Rohit is in that same phase. We have seen Ajinkya and Pujara just leaving that phase. And that rightly so, he mentioned in his post match as well that there were a lot of brothers who was already
yes.
left the game, who I started playing with. So, to be honest, I personally thought at least till this WTC is going to play. But I was completely taken aback when he announced his retirement, and he was very clear, very straightforward that, hi everyone, I'm announcing retirement from all forms of the game. To be honest, obviously, test was his only priority at this moment because teams have changed, generations have changed. There has been a transition in the
True,
T20
true, true.
setup already, even in the ODI. So obviously, we had a plan. We had an understanding at that time that he's not going to make it back in the ODI or the T20. But to be honest, most of the players would have decided, if someone else would have been in Ashwin's shoes, would obviously given more priority to his individual achievements because he's very close of getting another milestone in terms of Test cricket, and he could have easily played the home season, the next home season in India. But again, and that's again the quality that Ashwin has, and why that's why everyone loves him. The selfless character that he
Yes.
has, and
True, true, true.
how clear he is in his mind. The clarity makes him completely different from all the other cricketers. That he decided, okay, me playing that home season will not make a big difference to the team. It will only add to my individual glory. So it's better not to play. Someone else will get a chance. And I think that's why we all celebrate that kind of cricketer as well. And as you mentioned, we personally believe that whatever role he's going to take, he still had that clarity that he's going to play club cricket. He's going to play more IPL matches, domestic cricket. So obviously, all the best for that. But definitely, he's going to make it big in whatever field he takes on after this, whether it's broadcasting, whether it's administration, or whether it's coaching. I think coaching will suit him the most. That's right.
Yeah, definitely. I think you can see him as a future coach as well. There is no second thought about it. And most importantly, taking his retirement into consideration, right? I think what he's done is keeping the emotional side. I think he's done it right because the WTC cycle that we are in is going to end in a few months time, right? Like from the
Yes.
next WTC cycle, if you're going to leave it midway, it is going to generate a lot of confusion inside the team
Yeah.
environment. So I think, yeah, Ashwin being such a selfless cricketer, being such a ardent thinker and having that mindset to do a lot of good things for Indian cricket, I think he's definitely taken the right decision. But as fans, yeah. We are really finding it, slightly difficult at this phase because, yeah, it hasn't sinked in, to be very honest. Yes, Ritik, and I think most importantly, this void has to be filled by Washington Sundar. Uh, that
Yes.
will take some time, to be very honest. But how far are they going to do that is something that they're going to think about, and how far is it going to affect India's chances in the next WTC cycle is something that we will have to talk about as well. But yeah, I mean, at no point in time, people had had a thought of retirement or people accusing Ashwin to take retirement at any point in his career. I don't think that has happened. Even today, I think he has retired as the third highest ranked all rounder as far as the ICC Test ranking is concerned. So yes, a true legend of the game, and I really think he's a very very street smart cricketer because. We all would remember that moment, right? When he just walked past the leg stump against I just don't get the left arm spinner. I think Mohammad Nawaz, in the
Okay.
2022
Yeah.
2022 T20 World Cup,
Yes.
correct? I
Yes.
mean, he just stole the show. Virat Kohli at the other end was playing a marvelous knock. I think one of the best T20 knocks ever played. Correct, but what Ashwin did was just street smart stuff. And he had also given a justification for the same, where street cricket had highly helped him, to do, to leave that ball. So yeah, a very street smart cricketer, and most importantly, he hasn't captained India. Being such a huge legend of the game. We expected him to captain the side at some point in time, at least a game or two. But yeah, unfortunately, we couldn't witness him as. the captain of Indian cricket team. But yes, a legend of the game, obviously, been a
Yes.
part of a lot of things. And most importantly, I personally have this feeling as well that, I was a part of the last white ball game that he played for India. I mean, not part, I witnessed it live,
Yeah.
World Cup game against Australia. So, in some way or the other, that is something that will stay with me for a very long time. So, yeah. But then, Ritik, any final thoughts on Ashwin's retirement, and what do you think as a whole?
I think he's truly been an inspiration for everyone who has followed the sport, who wants to be tough, who wants to be successful in his respective career, in his or her respective career, to be honest. And yes, talking about
Mm-hmm.
his adaptability, especially, and as you mentioned, what a way to finish. And the last white ball game that he played again was again a terrific match. India versus
Yeah.
Australia, World Cup.
Yes.
So I think, and that's what greats of the game have always done. And I think this is something that most of the people who have been successful in any of the format, any of the profession, they've said, retire when you are at your best. And I think that's what he has done.
True.
He
True.
was
True.
very
True.
proactive in all these decisions. As you rightly mentioned, again, since when he retired, he was in the top three rankings of ICC. So that gives us the clarity as well how clear he's thinking and how long term approach he has followed, and that's why he has been so successful. And again, talking about Ashwin's memory, see, we all know and we have discussed this again and again, that the reason why Virat was a very successful test captain, or in general he was a very successful captain, was because he had Ashwin.
True.
There were
True.
other
Yeah.
players as well. Because but I think the more important role was played by Ashwin. He was always ready to take a fight on. See, all the matches, if we see in the last 10 years that India has played, uh, see, against Australia it was always difficult. Even when they were traveling,
Mm.
they needed Virat always needed someone who is there to back him, who is there to deliver in important conditions. Either they are playing in Australia or they are in India. They needed someone who is mentally tough, who can give it back to Australia. So that mental toughness and the culture that India is having at this moment of giving it back, I think he was the one who was the founding members of that. He himself, along with Virat.
Yes.
See, Rohit is a different character. Rohit is not a person who
Mm.
will be very expensive when he's batting, especially with his words. But sometimes you need that kind of player. You need those
True.
personalities in your team who can verbally also give back to the opposition. So I think that is something that it has been always a fascinating thing for me, because Ashwin is again very similar to Virat. If someone pokes him, he'll give his best. What he did in Sydney was impossible. I haven't seen any other cricketer who is carrying an injury, who is playing Mitchell Stark, Hazelwood, Pat Cummins, who is bowling onto his bodies, who is
Mm.
listening to rubbish of all the other Australian players. If rubbish is probably not the right word, the banter, if you can say, from
But
Tin
yeah,
Pain,
yeah.
from see,
Manas
that
Labuschagne.
kind of mental toughness is very rarely
Mm-hmm.
found in cricket or in sport. So I
True.
think
True.
for
Yeah.
me, it's always less. And personally, I think I'm one of them who didn't celebrated Ashwin that much. If someone would have asked me who's your favorite player, I should have said Ashwin because of his mental toughness. Because to be honest, if I see myself, I want to be like him. I want to be as confident like him. I want to be that mentally tough. So yes, I think all these memories will always stay and always will give me hope, inspiration whenever I am in a difficult phase. I'll ensure what Ashwin has done, because he's the one who is aged really well, who with experience has made himself better. I've seen very rarely, especially off spinners. There are a lot of off spinners in world cricket who were there when he entered and who were bowling better, who had more skill, I think. But he was the one who ensured that his career is long enough, and he's the one who will take the most number of wickets for India after Anil Kumble. So all these things are not a fluke, or not only because of his skill. There is a lot of practice. There is a lot of mental toughness. I'm repeating this word a lot of times, but I think
Correct.
these characteristics are very rarely found. So I think all these memories will always be there in not only me but anyone who has seen Ashwin playing cricket. So yeah, that's from me.
Yeah, definitely. And most importantly, I think his thought process to keep improving. I think that is something that is puts him different out of the rest. I mean, puts him out of the crowd. To be very honest. So yeah, Ravichandran Ashwin, in that regard, one of the greats of the game. You articulated it really well. Yes, definitely, really well. Congratulations on a very very successful career, international career to Ravichandran Ashwin, and he has also mentioned that he has a lot more to contribute to club level cricket. Definitely, I think he's going to play this cycle of the IPL as well. So yeah, definitely, I think we are going to see Ashwin play a little more, but we'll definitely miss him in the Indian jersey. So yeah, moving on from Ravichandran Ashwin to the fourth, or rather to the third test. India. I think rain was end of the day the winner, but positives for India. KL Rahul doing really well. Jadeja doing really well. And once again, India and India and Brisbane fighting spirit. BGT, all these factors coming in together to avoid the follow-on was a very good move from India. Was definitely very good. That shows. I mean, that shows their confidence level that they are in. Definitely, kudos to the Indian team. And yes, I mean, what do you think about this test match?
I personally think India made a good comeback. To be honest, saving that follow on was the game changer, and especially that partnership of the last wicket. And we needed someone from the lower order to perform. Jadeja did that, so obviously that's a big positive that we are going to enter with in the next match. And obviously Nitish Reddy in the lower order is again a big positive. Still, he didn't got enough runs, but especially the way he played his innings obviously will give a lot of confidence. But yes, talking about the match, I think for me the crux was the 10th wicket, was the last wicket partnership that they had
Yeah,
between just and Akash Dev, because
47
that
runs, I
was
guess.
yeah, because I think that was needed, and that was a big statement as well, that we can win this match, we can save this match. It's not all over. Yes, you have scored 445, we have saved
Yeah,
follow on, and game is on. And to be honest, yes, I think this is a big mental blow for Australians as well, because I think at a moment they were very complacent with the position they were
true,
in.
true.
And to be honest, there were a few mistakes from our end as well. Our middle order didn't perform. Again, we again are again heavily dependent on KL in these conditions where it's difficult to bat. But still, I think from the position we were in, we made a good comeback, and obviously the way we executed, especially today as well.
Mhm.
Or we are talking at the day when it was the last game, last day of the Brisbane Test. So even how they've played in the last innings, that again gave the clarity and the mindset. So I think
Correct.
entering into the Melbourne Test, we are gonna be little more stronger. If we talk about the mental edge, if we talk about, we are slightly
100%.
ahead of Australia, because more importantly, it was Australia's game to win, and we have saved it into a tie. And exactly that's what happened in the earlier BGT as well. That happened in Australia. So we saved a match in Sydney and ended up having a win in the last. This time we have two more test matches in Melbourne. Our track record is better than Australia. We have defeated them last two times, and obviously
Yeah.
now with Jadeja also performing, India will be having more confidence in their batting lineup, because I think the area of concern has been the middle order. To be honest, Jaiswal has scored few runs. Virat has scored a century. KL is obviously the best batter so far from India. If someone from middle order, if either it's Shubman, it's high time for Shubman, to be honest, because everyone is expecting him to score runs. Obviously,
Yeah.
Pant, Rohit. If one of these three players can also
Mhm.
add into the partnership or can contribute with some runs, we're definitely a more stronger team than Australia. That's my analysis.
Yeah, definitely. I think this is going to give a mental edge for India, as you mentioned. I think that is something that is in India's court. If they are definitely not going to take India easy. And in the previous occasions as well, in the previous tour as well, we have proved that we are nothing less, and we can showcase a fighting spirit. So yeah, moving ahead to the next test, right? So what do you think? I mean, what I personally feel is that you have to set an attacking field to Travis Head. If you have to stop Travis Head from scoring runs, you have to attack, because he's going to attack you back, and he's going to
Yes.
give you the. I mean, let him take those 40 runs. Let him attack, go for his shots. Let him take those 40 runs. But if you're going to set a defensive field for those 40 runs, you will end up conceding another 60 to 70 runs. That is, let him make a big 100 or something. But on the contrary, if you're going to set an attacking field, give him those 4 or 5 boundaries. You can, have an edge, or you might have a very good ball nicking to the keeper or to the slip cord, and it might work either ways, right? So yeah, it's very important that you attack someone like Travis said. And talking about Australia as well, they will have a blow in the form of injury for Josh Hazelwood. But yeah, otherwise, I think Australia as well will play Boland, and pretty much, yeah, India I think should will go unchanged to Sydney with the confidence that they have got with the after avoiding follow on.
Yes, I think India should go unchanged. And just talking about Travis Head, I think Australia is very much dependent on single batter in terms of batting. See, Mandus Labuschagne had a decent outing last time when we were having this ping ball test match, but I think still he hasn't performed up to his expectations. They were expecting more out of him in these three test matches.
Yeah,
McSweeney is
true.
not scoring runs. Paja is not scoring runs. Smith has scored a century, but again, not in the ideal manner. That is concerning. That will fear the Indians. And yes, there has been some good innings from Alex Carey, but again, in India still there are few players who are contributing, but Australia is completely dependent on Travis Head. Even if you see the ping ball match, he was the one who made the difference. Otherwise, they were in a very similar position. Yes, I think
Yeah.
their bowling was better on that day, but I still think if we can get Travis Head out, I think it can be a one-sided event completely. Because yes, they are bowling well, but still, in terms of batting, I think there's a big difference that Travis Head is creating at this moment, and that's why we are running short of runs. The difference of 200 runs, probably the main reason was Travis Head, and because Travis Head scored runs, that gave enough time for to Steve Smith as well to be defensive, to take his time, and obviously it changed the confidence of the bowler as well. The way Travis is batting from one side, it really makes it difficult for the bowlers to be that confident to a different batter as well. So I think yes, the
And
only
right and left hand
way,
combination as well, right?
yes, right and left hand combination as well. So it's always difficult to align your angle, align your field set. So I think Travis Head is the only hope for Australia at this moment, and especially keeping in mind how the conditions are in MCG. If someone like Bumrah, if someone like Akash Deep, or even Siraj now, you can't keep Siraj out of these big matches. He's someone who is very attacking, but I think at the time when he's heated up, there has to be some sort of logic as well. He should not miss out the trick in that aggression. That's my only concern. If he's patient from inside and explosive from outside, that will work. But in that aggression, in that heat of moment, he should not forget the plan. That's my only concern. If he can stick to his plan, if Bumrah can stick to his plan, and as you rightly mentioned, to be attacking what Travis said, I think India can definitely win Melbourne and eventually can win the Sydney game as well. Yes, Rohit.
Yes, definitely. A change in strategies. I think India can definitely turn the tables, win the next 2 games, but you cannot take Australia easy as well. Scott Boland could be a huge threat for India. I think at this point in time, even a better threat compared to Josh Hazelwood. So yeah, definitely I think his lines would be way better, and India as well. Would want the likes of Shubman Gill, Rohit Sharma to perform with the bat as well. If they get the runs, I think the pressure is automatically eased out on the top order and the lower middle order as well. Who have performed in the recently concluded Test match. So yes, you bought the point of Akash Deep as well. Akash Deep doing well will also take the pressure slightly of Bumrah, and better field sets. I think. We will see the results. Ritik. I think better field sets would. I think that is the 70%. I think that is the issue. If you can set an
Yeah.
attacking field set, you can definitely get those wickets. And wickets in a test match, I think, as Rahul Dravid says always, it is not about the runs. It's about
Yes.
the number of wickets in a test match. So definitely, I think that is one area where Rohit Sharma as the captain and the senior members of the team, Virat Kohli, Ravindra Jadeja, everybody must sit along with Gautam Gambhir and address so that they can find a good opportunity to come back in the series, right? So yeah, if you have any final thoughts, we can wrap it up. Ritik.
Yes, I think only one thing, we need to change a record. We need to break a record here. I think so far, all the matches that Scott Boland has played against India, Australia has won them. I think was he there in WTC finals? I think he was there. I think
Yeah,
WTC
yeah, yeah. He
finals he
played. He
played.
played. Yeah, yeah,
Finals he played last game. The second test match he played, both the matches India lost. So I think all the matches that he's played against India in the recent times, I think we haven't won them. So I think this is something that we need to change in that next match. And probably I think MCG is gonna be a better wicket to bat on. We definitely I think
yeah,
gonna
yeah.
see 340, 400 scored from both ends. And definitely the game will be on the last game will go till the last innings. I have a last question.
Yes. Yeah, yeah.
Team winning the toss. Team winning the toss, batting first or bowling first?
I would think traditionally, I think except for Gaba, most of the Australian grounds are good to defend. So in that regard, you
Yeah.
won't want to. You won't want yourself to. You don't want yourself to bat in the fourth innings, right? So obviously, if you win the toss, as a captain, if I was the captain, I would definitely bowl first. Maybe that is my personal opinion that I think. And once again, as every Indian cricket fan wishes, I think Virat Kohli might MCG has been a good ground for him, MCG and
Yeah,
the Adelaide as well, but not in this particular series. It hasn't Adelaide has been that it hasn't been that great, but I think he can turn the tables in MCG and get second 100 of this series as well.
yes,
That is what
definitely.
is my that is my expectation. And yeah, guys. So definitely, I think we've discussed a lot about Ravichandran Ashwin as well. And at the other end, we have spoken about the India Australia series. Yes, a legend of the game, Ravichandran Ashwin. So you can definitely put down your thoughts, on Ravichandran Ashwin, and do look at Wicket Whispers as well, the channel of Ritik. I will, put the link in the description, and we'll look to give it in the title as well. You guys can check out the channel. They are providing quality content, on a consistent basis, guys. Yeah, if you like this video, do like and share it with your friends, and do put your thoughts in the comment section below. And please subscribe to our channel. Thank you. This is me, Rohit, and Ritik signing off. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Cheers.